Just gonna sit here and play with this knife. Now just do this in a
Johnny,
fire.
are you ready?
60.
Why do you have your guitar?
Because Benjamin smacked that alien over the head with a guitar.
I did smack that alien in the head with a guitar.
So you... Okay.
And I can also play the Octodad theme, see?
Blooper reels.
Yes.
Who's that man with the... Oh! Okay. Mood run.
Done.
Hold on. That man with the three-piece suit. Trying to make a dollar out of a log and fruit. Hello and welcome to the Poe-Cast. I'm Benjamin.
And I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Christopher. You totally ruined our order.
Anyway, we're talking about RPGs.
We're talking about RPGs. I'm not killing you.
Don't kill me!
I did not roll for initiative.
I need to make a pacifist character like Emery did that one time.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, any RPGs that you guys have been playing lately or look forward to play? Other than me with Pathfinder, I haven't played. Actually, the campaign that I was in with my drunken dwarf monk has fallen through.
No!
I know. I really...
I love that drunken dwarf monk.
That was
I've been really excited about the story, and since there doesn't seem to be any point in spoilage anymore, my character was High King. He became High King, and then he willingly gave up the throne. And then one of his loyal bodyguards finds him again 100 years later, and they're like, okay, and they're just doing normal stuff, but the rest of the party had a vendetta against the throne. And former High King in their midst is like, well, I'm just gonna... And I had, not only had I told the fairy queen of the wild fae my true name, I owed her a debt. And no one in our party liked the fairies, including the fairy that was with us, the Stagborn. Actually, we had to... I really wish Danny played with his original... He became a Stag Guardian, which Stag Guardians are cool.
Yeah.
You know what Stag Guardian is. You know what Stag Guardian is. Here's a picture of a Stag Guardian. They're really cool. They're giant, pretty much like Bjorn, except they can only turn into one... Well, Bjorn can only turn into one thing. They can turn into one thing, which is a giant stag. And they're giant humanoids with stag antlers. But his original character was going to be pretty much a Navi. With high conjuration magic. And she was able to summon... it's called the Leopard of the Deep or something, I don't remember, but it has like 6 legs, all these tentacles on its back, and it's a maw of teeth.
Yes.
So it's just like, Navi,
Yes.
hi, listen! Listen! Can you imagine that, just a demonic Navi, just like, listen! Don't ignore her too long. She's the queen of the underworld. Done. Nope. Not fighting her.
So, well, we really like RPGs.
Oh,
yes, we do.
And let's talk a little bit about our favorite systems.
Favorite
system.
Ooh. See, I didn't get to play Pathfinder long enough to get into a good system. I really like the Shadowrun system, but I also like the kind of homemade pass-fail initiative. But it's kind of hard, especially when you don't have a way to keep track of HP and stuff. The Shadowrun HP system I like is because everyone has a fixed HP. I believe it's 9 boxes, and your weapons do certain damage. So if you have a weapon that rolls a crit, it does 9 damage. You're going to get killed in one shot, unless you happen to dodge or something. Even if you dodge, it's just going to cut it in half, which leaves you, what, 5 still out of 9. You're mortally wounded. And it's still not pretty because your companions are dragging you off the field.
Right.
But I like the other ones where you can do superhuman things like rain frogs down from heaven. That's an actual spell I found in the Pathfinder spellbook.
Wow.
I was just like, what?
That is pretty awesome.
I was looking at Anti-Paladin. I'll explain the character later, but I was looking at spells for my Anti-Paladin, and that's not going to be one of them, as epic as it is. But I was just like, and it's apparently a bard skill. Just like, bring frogs, poisonous frogs rain down. Why would you do that? No! But yeah, but I do love how you can do superhuman things like rain frogs down from heaven, and a halfling, if he has superhuman strength, can pick up a minotaur on his shoulder and a half orc under his arm and drag them off the field, while this elf this really beefy elf, actually I'm sorry, not an elf, this really beefy barbarian warrior is having a hard time dragging this helpless elf off the field. Stuff like that. And also, if you have a fun DM that you play with for a while, eventually one character can become a god. Until you're just finally like, okay, you are in the realm of make a new character now. Because there's only so powerful you can go.
So, do you have like a favorite genre that you like to play in? Like, you know, epic fantasy, or do you like sci-fi, or do you like superheroes?
It's a happy mix. It's a happy. I like sci-fi and fantasy equally.
Okay. Jonathan, I know you haven't played very many of them, but your favorite system? Do you have one?
I liked the Pirates of the Spanish Main system just because I was familiar with the Pirates of the Spanish Main strategy game, and we incorporated that into the RPG, which I thought was really fun. And also, you know, everyone likes being a swashbuckling pirate.
Yes, and the Pirates of the Spanish Main is written by the lovely people, or the morbid people, at no.
Morbid because of Phantasma. I bet it's the
Okay,
cursed.
wait. Okay, they are talking about the constructible card game, or the
well, this is the
tabletop
same
strategy
universe-ish,
game.
right?
It's the same
Yeah,
universe.
it's the same universe.
But see, that the tabletop strategy game, which was quite innovative for its time, was created by the people at WizKids Games. The role-playing game, written basically in the same universe with the same characters, heroic characters like El Phantasma, Jack Hawkins, Blackheart, Calico Cat, what's the Crimson Angel. I was going to say Bloody Angel, but it's Crimson Angel.
Yes.
I know, because I have her, and I finally got the Deliverance to go. Well, not finally, years ago, but I had. I had finally gotten Deliverance to go with her before the game was out.
But the Pirates of the Spanish Main RPG is written by the delightful and morbid people at Pinnacle Entertainment Group. They've done games such as Savage Worlds, The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, Deadlands, Sundered Skies.
Ooh, they did Deadlands? Ooh.
And Benjamin, this is why I like this system.
Oh! Ooh, I like that.
Take a look at it.
It's
and
so
I'll be
out.
putting a picture of the character sheet right up here.
I also like how we have our ships.
I like that
Yes.
too.
But look, you don't have.
You have 3 wounds. Jeez!
Combat is fast. I have never seen anything that was this fast.
Combat is fast.
Yes.
Not compared.
Well, I mean,
to,
like,
to
in
D&D
real life.
and
In real
Pathfinder.
life.
Right.
Like,
Compared to Pathfinder and D&D, this moves so quickly.
I'm sure pretty much initiative roll.
You know how they do initiative? You shuffle a deck of cards.
No!
No. You shuffle a deck of cards.
Yes.
You
I'm in
deal it
fear of
out.
my non-existent character. No!
Why are you freaking out?
My character is now. I'm gonna make someone completely different. It's not gonna be Cuthbert. He's gonna be a cowardly guy who just dives in the barrel and avoids combat at all costs.
Okay, but here's the thing about. Wait. Let me explain. Here's the thing about combat is that initiative is done by dealing out a deck of cards to everybody, NPCs and real players.
Sorry.
The Joker cards, which generally are not used in card games, are in there. If you get to draw one of those,
Oh, is it bad or is it good?
it's very good. Everything gets doubled. You basically get to go all wild card and be epic hero.
Yes. So it's pretty much that moment of, you're the crappy player, and you're like, where did you get that gun?
yeah.
Right.
Catch the guy's sword in your teeth, yank it out, and then headbutt him to death.
That's part of the thing.
That doesn't change my character. It's amazing how fast, when you know the game mechanics, you make your character around fast. Like, nope, he's hiding. He's... I'm in here.
Well, that's the thing about this, is that you don't need to hide because there isn't a lot of math, which Dungeons & Dragons, which I have played, I actually don't care for Dungeons & Dragons. Sorry, people who like it. I like...
Pathfinder's along the same lines. It's a lot of numbers.
Luckily,
I play with nerdy people who are willing to do the math for me while I'm just sitting there like...
And look,
so what's that
with your wounds, you have -1, -2, -3, and incapacitated. You don't have a lot of math.
Critical hit.
What's fun is because you have the edges and hindrances, which are...
Yes.
The edges and hindrances, which I think do kind of show up in Shadowrun.
There's the 9 box for health, and there's the 12 box for stun, if I remember right.
Okay.
Which, you know, if you're hit with a stun weapon and a damaging weapon, they both fill up at the same time.
Right. What I really like about Savage Worlds is because it's very streamlined, as opposed to the complicated number crunching of, you know, D&D or Pathfinder. Your skills basically go up a die type instead of getting, you know, like 12 or 5 or 6 or 17 modifiers or whatever. D&D just has a lot of math, and I don't necessarily want to do math while I'm gaming. You know what I mean?
Takes you out of character.
Yeah, I just want to be a character.
I am the illiterate monk. Oh, okay, so 3 divided by 12. Okay.
Right. So Pirates of the Spanish Main basically is the Savage Worlds role-playing system. They have a, you know, basically generic Savage Worlds book, and they have a couple of companions like the superheroes or the horror or the sci-fi or the fantasy companion book, which adds a little bit to those. I really love it, and it appears, in the limited time that I got to look at, the Firefly RPG book appears to be quite similar to Savage Worlds, and as you're describing, because I haven't really...
Savage Worlds, Reavers, come on, people.
To dig into it, Shadowrun. The game mechanics appear to be quite similar between these 3 games.
It was just me sitting down, and the technically 3 sessions sessions I DM'd, I was still like, what does this mean? It was mainly the character creation that was... But once I figured out HP was pretty self-explanatory, I was like, oh.
Right. Which, I'm really sad that you're going up to school recently, because I really want to get everybody together, and just using the test drive rules for Savage Worlds, which are free on their website. Almost completely comprehensive rules for basically everything. Which is only 6 pages. Everybody can read that in a few minutes. Basically understand it.
That's why...
And then we run a one-shot.
Sadly, that is the thing, because whenever you actually start a campaign, usually your first game night is everyone sitting around the table, which, yes, I have it planned out for our school. We sit out, we do the character sheets, and we talk about how much fun we're going to have. Yeah. And then next Saturday, oh, well, Michaela can't make it. Oh, well, Cal's busy. John's not here. He's got to work. And then...
So Jonathan hasn't quite had as much experience with role-playing games. But...
Yeah. Poor fellow.
Poor fellow.
Name that musical. Comments.
That was a joke. Anyway, talking about RPGs. What do you like about them?
I really like just the experience, the entire experience of getting together with people and, like, controlling a character in a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not quite like a video game because it's not as linear
the
and
odds
it's more
aren't in your favor.
chancy. Yeah. It's just...
And it's also kind of fun to go look at that wall and be like, can I climb that? Yes! While the game's like, no, the story's that way.
Yeah.
Right. There's no Easter eggs up there.
I mean, there are some games that are not quite as linear, but
Deadpool.
All of them...
Actually, it's pretty linear, but that's not right.
All of them kind of have this path that they follow.
I mean, sometimes RPGs can be like that, especially when you've got a campaign book.
It depends on the DM. It depends on the DM. And
Yeah.
I would really like to try my hand at DMing. I've done a little bit before. And very much, there are 2 things that I would like to do with my players. One, not put them on rails. Kind of not be suggesting, you know, why don't you go over there, or why don't you do
Well, it's
this?
kind of hard when you have players who go, it's like...
Well, okay. I'm also going to carefully handpick my players. But there are a few new players who I want to get into it, and I think that they're learning. I think that they've learned.
They are learning, because
Yeah.
I was not handing out quite as many suggestions as I was in my first game with all
Right.
of them. Because, like, well, that seems about almost out of time.
We're almost out of time, but we'll go on for a little bit longer.
I'm being
Yeah,
afraid.
the other thing that I especially want to,
Yes.
Benjamin, we've got to run one of these one-shots.
Why do you think I put this in my mouth? The guy on the back right there.
Yeah.
There's your young one.
Okay.
This is like really handle heavy.
Yeah. Ah!
Yeah, they just
Snaps
saw
your
it.
neck.
The second thing I want to do while they're being silly behind me is I don't want my characters to feel safe. I don't want them to feel powerless, but I don't want them to feel safe. Which I've been in a few games where I didn't feel like I was in danger,
Yeah.
or I felt like certain characters were being protected. And I kind of just want to drop everybody into, you know, that sort of Firefly type world where you're all just people and anybody could die from the same gun wound.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
a friend of mine had that happen in an RPG. They have a fun DM. That is all I have to say about that. I will say,
it really.
did I tell you that story?
I don't know.
I will tell you this one story from a friend. Their little RPG. It's a short story. They have a very fun DM, and they were in the pond. They were just swimming, enjoying themselves in a lake. And this is in the game, and they were attacked by a giant catfish.
Wow.
They proceed to kill the giant catfish. Took quite a while.
Yeah.
And everyone ate it, and their paladin all of a sudden starts choking. And then starts experiencing, it's not from the food though, they've been done eating for hours. Then he starts experiencing, well,
Oh no! Oh
bear
no!
with me guys. He starts experiencing explosive diarrhea. Dysentery, essentially. Until it stops.
Oh.
And then then he passes a giant rare gem that has never been seen in the likes, and then they take it to a jeweler. It's priceless. Apparently, this rare race that he is, when they eat this certain breed of catfish in the lake, they smell this giant diamond. And this is their DM making the story. So what does the paladin do?
Oh
Turns
no!
around, runs for the lake, trips, falls face first, starts drowning in the mud. Gets back up, they catch 3 or 4 more catfish, and he eats them all, and they just start harvesting him for the diamonds. Poor character in the imaginary universe, but... okay, anyways, I'm Benjamin.
I'm Christopher.
And I am Jonathan.
This is the Poe-Cast, and with that story, we're done.
We are just done.
We are
Goodbye.
done. Goodbye.
Ooh, I actually put myself there.
Oh.
Done!